Hello everyone. Welcome to CripChat, your weekly podcast on everything disability.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. I got with me Jonathan as well as David,
Hello.
who asked via telephone. Hello, David. Welcome.
Hello, how are you today? Thanks for
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
all good, all good.
So, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about the being inclusive of education and non-inclusive.
Oh, so inclusive education versus special education.
Yes,
Yeah, oh, okay. The, I guess, lasting effects of segregation.
yeah, and the last thing of segregation. But if you want to get into that, is it really is it really safe to actually mix them together? The
Hmm.
actual two different educations, or what are the positives and the negatives of mixing them and not mixing them?
That's a very good question, David, for the viewers
Yeah,
out there. So, David wants to know if you mix special education as well as the mainstream education together, what are the pros and cons for that? Jonathan, you have something you want to say?
if anyone's got anything to
Well,
add,
I see if you practice segregation at such a young age, it reinforces that we're different all others and has lifelong effect.
Yes, yeah, and thank you for that, David, Jonathan. And David was also saying if anyone's got any comments, feel free to put it in the chat. Um, look, ideally, it sounds ideal that we are, coming together, in education. However, it can be difficult for people that are on the spectrum to get some kind of education when there is loud noises around them. Now, generally, for people that are young, they won't have much understanding as to why people behave the way that they do. And so that could be a disadvantage because it can create chaos. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that it's better if people were segregated. But in saying that, we do have diverse abilities, and not everyone with a disability is labeled under the one. So in saying that, it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that a person with an intellectual barrier, one because doesn't mean that they both have to be classified as people with disability and be put in a special school together.
yeah,
So it depends on the type of disability that you have. We just got actually a comment from Sarah. So how do you cater for all disabilities in mainstream? That's a very good question. And disabilities, so yeah, look, ideally we won't work in a mainstream, society. And so that's where I guess the idea of segregation, comes into play.
yeah,
David, so what are your thoughts?
Oh, God. Other people, but you can mix people, but they can. You need a person like that's a teacher that's with the person that's got disability, so they can actually.
So people that are trained,
Uh,
people that are trained and have the experience of working with people with, disability,
yeah.
or people that are on the spectrum, so that behavioral, I guess, barriers.
Look, look. If we started this off from kindergarten for every child,
Mm,
we won't have a problem
mm,
because other people would have had experience. Now we're playing catch up.
mm,
The kids would have had experience because it would have not been new to them. But if you
yeah.
just start from now, you're going to have to play catch up. That's when you're going to need teachers, special, special teachers to help others to catch up.
Mm,
Once we all get into the flow of it, we wouldn't have to play catch up no more.
yeah.
Only new students have to play catch up.
Yeah,
The teachers know what speed to teach at because then they get experience.
mm.
So all of this is about experience and trial and having someone to support them.
I think when like in the classroom, we can have like what you call special classes, which I'm pretty sure it's the case, but not segregate them as in like separate them from the rest of the people, make them engage, during recess or lunch, with the other students. Um, I think
You don't want them to feel left out.
on a lot of skills
But,
like networking
but,
skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills.
but also, but also someone being
oh,
got a disability, very bright, can be actually be treated like as if someone is normal. So you got to be careful with that too.
What, can you clarify that, David?
Uh,
Can
if some people that are very good at what they do with their disability can be treated as if they have no disability.
so they won't have the supports.
Yeah, the way the person that says for support, they support someone else that's got more disability than I do. They just forget about it.
More disability than I do, huh?
Yeah.
So we have different levels of disability, huh? Interesting. Just a comment from Sarah. So the government refuses to improve the education system to make it easy for they make it too hard. So will they integrate disabled kids? So yeah, so everyone has their own, I guess, learning styles. And yeah, it can be a challenge. Yeah, it can be a challenge, to ideally pull people together based on their level of education. But in saying that, you often have in a classroom the gifted child, the not so gifted child. So yeah, where do we go from there? I think I think that most schools will have this anyway. There needs to be different certifications, different levels at which a student would, I guess, do their studies. It doesn't mean that they're not smart, uh, or they're too smart. It just means that would require more support than a person who is, very smart or is a technically a genius, as you would call it. What are your thoughts on that, David? David, are you with me? Well, it looks like I've lost both David and John. So, in saying that, I think, yeah, look, there has been some changes to the reform, as most of you have read, in which the special eds being no more in, I think, the year 2051. So this is why we brought up this topic. I'm just going back to David. Are you there, David? And it looks like we've lost David. Uh, that's okay, because now we'll be talking about our year in review. So for the audience out there, yeah, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Alright, so we got a comment from Sarah. Yes, and the method of teaching is hard for the brain. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's something we need to work on, teachers as well as students, and how do we match, both. So thank you very much for your comment, Sarah. Yeah, just going back to our year in review. So it's been an awesome year with everyone here at CripChat. And so I asked everyone, what has been your favorite topic or favorite guest speaker for? Would you like for us to talk about in the new year? Okay, Jonathan's now back with us. So welcome back, John.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Oh, now they're back. They're both back. Welcome back, David and John. So, David, yeah.
Standout topic. I've liked them all, but the one I liked was the technology and also the disaster one.
Also, emergency preparedness.
Yeah.
Nice. And assistive technology. I think they're two very hot topics. How about you, John? What was your favorite topic for the
My
year?
favorite topic was game in
Um, the advocacy is always a
and
good topic, especially having guest speakers like Mr. River Nye himself. Talk about advocacy. people that are out in the community educating like needy that joined us. Um, yeah, and also we've got Dr. Papadi, who spoke to us about the medical, I guess, side of things as a person with a disability. We have some awesome leaders in the space, like Samantha Connor, as well as Andrew Fairbairn, who are both presidents of their respected organizations. So we got some idea on how advocacy works from their point of view and from their organization. And so we have to, I guess, bring in more guests. We also had our talk with the what's the Alistair McEwen, who's awesome and what he does. Keep up the good work. A nice humble bloke. I had the honor of interviewing, and so we continue disability. How would you reflect on it, David?
What was the question?
Just with CripChat, who was your favorite guest speakers? What did you enjoy about this year, and what are you looking forward to next year?
If there was things that I don't know, I do know now, and it's very knowledgeable, and it allows you to understand that there are things out there, and it helps you connect with others. We might be got disability ourselves, but you learn from others that have other disabilities. And if we were to learn from each other from when we were younger, back at school, we'll have no problems with knowing other people's disabilities and how others actually treat you and understand what you. Have you realized that people in your own family, because they've grown up with you and they've known your disability from when you're young, know how to treat you better than others?
Yeah, because I've had that experience.
Because they've had the experience from when they were young. And once you got the experience, instead these days, we want to be disabled and proud.
That's what it's all about, about representation. And how do we do that?
Hide it.
Yeah. Just a question for Jonathan. Go on. Go ahead, John.
Do you think the sense of separation at a young age permeates through to adulthood, having special places for people with disabilities.
So, okay. So, the idea of segregation permeates. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
People, I guess, like I mentioned before, won't get the skills required to interact with other humans. They'll be shy. they'll be I guess marginalized from society. They'll be too afraid to communicate to people because they didn't have the chance when they were young, to do those things. And so this is why, I look, I throw my hat off to carers, support workers who take care of people with disability. Well, I use the word take care lightly, but support those individuals. But once they reach adulthood, if they don't gain the skills needed to live more independently, they're gonna have a hard time, blending into society, mixing, with society, becoming a part of society. What are your thoughts, David?
Yeah, what is that?
So, people that are segregated in schools, do you think that would permeate into adulthood? Would that carry on with them through to adulthood?
Sorry, it's a bit hard to hear you.
Okay,
What are you
David,
saying?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, would and I forgot the question myself. Would segregation permeate them into adulthood? Would it carry on with them through to adulthood?
Yes, it would.
Yep.
It would, because if you got it in from young, it'll they won't know any better.
Yeah, so they'll be
That's why.
shy. Yeah.
That's why you wanna get everyone involved from when they're young,
Yeah.
so they're not shy. See, when I was able to see,
Yeah.
but until I became blind, I had to speak out because I then all I missed out.
Yeah, reconnect with your community. Yeah. But you have to, I guess, learn from scratch. But learn through, I guess,
Learn how to communicate differently to others. Maybe you seem like before you were shy to be rude, but now you just don't. You have to, or you miss out.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing, David. What's your final thoughts on this topic?
Deepo.
What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are segregation. Look, at the end, once if we're gonna be inclusive with technology or with education, start it from the beginning. If we don't start it from when they're young, there's a lot of perks in that. Others learn, you learn, people with disability learn, and different situations. So it's all a learning curve.
Yeah.
And they'll only get better. As you can tell, learning curves only get better by experience.
Yeah. Interesting. Thanks for
That's
that.
my final thought.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing, David. Jonathan, a few words.
What's your final thought?
My final thought is if we want to truly inclusive society, we need to move towards a more integrated education system because if we just keep it status quo, we teach society that we're separate from society.
Mm. Thank you for that, Jonathan. So moving into interrelated system where they can, I guess, mix and match. But look, ideally, no.
Within,
So was that, Jonathan?
within realistic time frame.
Okay. Within a realistic time frame, yeah.
And
Cool. Thank you for that, Jonathan.
Hey,
I
what's your
guess
final thought, Ibby?
my final thoughts is that ideally we shouldn't all be labeled under disability. Everyone has diverse abilities, and they should be put into that one, I guess, class. But rather also it'll be good to be mixed with mainstream society. However, it's not for everyone. People on the spectrum itself, um, when they so how do we do with that? We'll need to make schools more inclusive. What does that mean for us? We'll just have to look into it, and hopefully in the next couple of years we'll work towards becoming more inclusive. What that means, only time will tell. But in saying that, we will be having a 2 week break, CripChat Australia. So let us wrap up by just saying that we wish everyone a happy holiday. Enjoy your break for the people out there, and just live a healthy and good life. Stay safe, everyone. You have been watching CripChat, your weekly podcast on everything similarly. Um, Merry Christmas for the people that celebrate it, and also a very happy New Year from Australian Disability. But for now, we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.